Hey, thank you for watching this week. You know, I want to talk to you about your future, about the destination that you are headed towards. You know, have you ever been on a cruise? You know, those big giant party boats where you get to eat unlimited ice cream? You know, years ago, my husband and I went on a cruise for our 20th wedding anniversary to Venice, Italy. It was the most amazing cruise I've ever been on. I've only been on like 3, but it was so amazing to see Venice, to ride the gondola, and then to go to all these little places through the Greek Isles like Mykonos, Santorini, riding a crazy donkey up a hill. It really was quite an experience. And you know, for my husband, he's in love with Venice, Italy now. It's his favorite place, and so we argue about Venice, Paris, Venice, Paris. But it was the most amazing cruise I've ever been on. However, I was reading recently about these cruises that allow people to take them, and it's called a cruise to nowhere. In fact, they just basically circle certain places over and over with no particular destination in mind, and it's really to just give people a sample of life at sea without totally committing to this full-on cruise. Well, there's nothing really wrong with that, except that they are missing out on, you know, the exotic islands and riding the gondola and seeing historical landmarks and things like that. There's nothing really wrong. I mean, that might be fun for a couple of days, but the problem is a lot of people are spending their lives on this journey to nowhere. No plan, no destination, no map, just circling the same issues year after year, looking at the same scenery, the same circumstances, and eventually running out of fuel. Well, I want you to realize you have a destination to pursue. You have goals to attain. You have an assignment to fulfill. In fact, listen to this. I read this recently. It said, quite possibly, the most important action successful people take is dedicating the time to discover what they're on earth to do and then pursue it with a passion. So think about that. What were you born to do? What were you put on this earth to do? And then discover it and pursue it with passion. You know, I'm constantly amazed how ideas, opportunities, resources, and relationships seem to gravitate to the person who has a clear vision and purpose. Now, you might have to break that down, really think about it. Ideas. You see people getting ideas and you're like, where did they get that? Or opportunities. You see people getting all these opportunities that you're just wishing for one. Or resources. They seem to have the funds to do what they need to do. Relationships. You're like, how did they meet them? Ideas, opportunities, resources, and relationships seem to gravitate to the person who has a clear vision and a clear purpose. Well, that's what I want for you, to stop wondering what you're supposed to do with your life and start preparing for what you're supposed to do with your life. So I just want to share 2 points with you today. Number 1, take 100% responsibility for where you are. Now that can be a painful thing or it can be exciting. But I was reading a book the other day, a success book, and the first chapter was all about take 100% responsibility for your life. In other words, you are where you are today as a sum total of the decisions you made yesterday. And you know, you think about that, you kind of have to get real with yourself and say, no more excuses, no more blaming other people, and no more complaining. All you have to do is look at the Israelites. You know how they complained year after year about their circumstances, and that word complain actually means to remain. You will stay where you are if you keep complaining. That's the result. Complain means remain. So we have to look at life and say, I'm going to stop blaming other people for where I'm at. I'm going to stop making excuses about the condition of my life and where I'm at. And I'm going to take 100% responsibility. You know, Jack Canfield suggests this. He said, we have control over 3 things. Number 1, the thoughts we think. Number 2, the images we visualize. And number 3, the actions we take. The thoughts you think, you know, your thoughts are going to be the pathway to your destiny. You've heard life goes in the direction of your most dominant thoughts. Joyce Meyer says, where the mind goes, the man follows. So basically, what you think about, you bring about. And then, of course, the images you visualize. Every successful person takes the time to visualize where they want to be in the future. And then, of course, taking action. You know, these 3 produce the results that you want or don't want. And I don't know about you, but I had to have a wake-up call years ago to the fact that results don't lie. You look around and you say, do I like the results I'm getting in my life? If you don't, then you have to change your actions. So number one, take 100% responsibility for where you are. Number two, take 100% responsibility for where you're going. Where are you going to go? You know, listen to what Bobby Knight said. The will to succeed is important, but what's even more important is the will to prepare. Prepare for your destiny. Prepare for what you feel God's called you to do. And you might say, Terri, I don't know how. I don't even know how to get started. Well, do you know that if I just came to your house and just looked around your house, I should be able to tell what you're preparing for. I should be able to see some sort of direction, vision, passion in your life just by your surroundings. You know, you should be surrounding yourself with vision. Like, what kind of books are you reading? You've probably heard that leaders are readers. Well, you're leading your own life, and it's so important that you start reading something. What about messages? What kind of messages are you listening to? The most successful people in the world use their drive time to grow, to stretch, to learn. What about money? Where's your money going? That's a big indication of what you're most passionate about. Where are you spending the majority of your money? Or the extra money you have. Once your bills are paid, where's your money going? Is it going towards something that you're passionate about, that you believe God's put in your heart? What about who you spend your time with? That's a big indication of where your life's going to go. Jim Rohn said you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. You know, think about researching. Are you researching things that are going to lead you to the destiny God has for you? Are you attending a class? Are you seeking out mentors? Are you saving money? You know, successful people love to meet with people and share their wisdom. You just have to ask them. So I heard someone say the other day that there's 2 types of people. There's the anchors and the motors. The anchors are going to pull you down. The motors, stick with them because they're going somewhere. So I just want you to think about those specific things that are helping you prepare for your future or forfeit your future. What are you doing to prepare? And let me remind you, preparation time is never wasted time. Do something this week to prepare for what you believe God's called you to do. Order the resources that we have available. Get one of the books and start reading, you know, for 20 minutes a day. Everything matters. So like I said, preparation time is never wasted time. Why? Because your calling is calling. Thank you so much for watching this week. And if you enjoyed the podcast, share them with a friend, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook. I love to keep you encouraged. I'll see you next week.